So before we continue with experimentation, I'm working on the electric part of the apparel. I need to dedicate 1 minute to speak about my daughters. They are not with me just a couple of months now because no reason at all besides the government that wants to torture me and to torture them. And recently they've started to understand that it's not because of me, and this is bad. It's not good at all, because up until now they blamed me, and I told them they are right, and it's not okay, and that I should pick them and be with them. But now they started. I mean, this is the younger one. I think that the older one understood even a month ago, started to understand it a month ago. But now Hila, the younger one, also is starting to understand that it's not because of me, and this is bad. And I don't expect anyone of the people involved to understand it, but because they are basically amoebas in human form. But this is bad, because when children, especially young children, start to see their parents, or one of the parents, let's say they see their father as a powerless figure, there is nothing in the world that hurts them more than that. This is backed up by a lot of psychological studies and experiments. It's not something that I invented. It is known by people that actually care about children and study the phenomenon. Parental alienation, with all the horrible consequences of it, is caused when the children see one of their parents as a powerless figure. And it doesn't matter usually that the powerless figure is not the one to blame, that it's not their fault. Especially if the children are young, but not exclusively when they are young, they need to think as their parents. They need to view their parents as people with power, that are able to raise them and to take care of them. When young children start to understand that their father is powerless, and that because of the fact that he's powerless, he cannot be with them, it destroys their soul much more than the thought that he doesn't want to be with them, even though he can. And this is backed up by many psychological studies. I haven't invented it. This is one of the reasons why, until now, I always preferred to never blame anyone and take all the responsibility on me. When my daughters ask me, they always ask me, why are you not coming to pick us up, as it was always been since they remember? I never told them it's not my fault. I always say, I'm sorry, you are right, this is wrong. Because it's better for them to think that it's my fault than that I am powerless. That's why I've never blamed anyone. But I mean, you can't hide the truth forever. Hila is 6 years old in a couple of months, and Orin is 7 years old, and I suspected that about a month ago Orin has started to understand that it's not my fault, and now Hila started to understand it as well. And now starts the most destructive part of the torture that my children are subjected to. This is where parental alienation really starts. Because parental alienation is not caused primarily when one parent used like trash words on the other parents. This is very common. Unfortunately, this kind of scenario is very common in situations where there are children that grow up in divorced families where the conflict was bitter and was never resolved. But this in itself is not the cause of parental alienation. Almost always when parental alienation exists, the phenomenon of one parent that trashes the other one also exists, but it's not the cause. And I did not invent it. It's backed up by many psychological studies. The cause of parental alienation, especially in the most severe form, is when the children start to see one of their parents as a powerless figure. And we are now entering this stage when my small daughters, start to see me as a powerless figure in this world, when they understand that it's not because of me that I cannot see them, but because I'm powerless figure against forces that are much stronger than I am, and that these forces are the ones that determine their life, not me. And this, if it continues, like even for a short while, it will probably permanently scar or even destroy the souls of my daughters. And if there are two options are presented to me. One, let it happen. And second, continue with my experiments that I know for a fact that will cause the creation of new mutations of viruses and germs and perhaps even flies. And that possibly it already happened already. And that the new mutation will not be just like, the mutations of the corona. There will be actually new life form, the same way that I am a new life form, that I'm different from you. Or in other words, they will be made from materials that are not usually related with the concept of life as you understand it. Or in even other words, we are talking about corona and Ebola and AIDS and perhaps little worms and flies and beetles made out of silicon and aluminium and perhaps other materials as well. This will almost certainly be the end of mankind. And it might have already happened, I don't know. But if it didn't happen already, I will work day and night until it happens.